Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since I've done a story on Earth's magnetic field, which is still moving closer and closer to Siberia. And some people are already noticing an increase in interruptions with navigation, or, it's not working as well as it did before. So, shift in Earth's magnetic north throws navigators off course, and many things use navigation. We know ships, planes, cars, smartphones, just to name a few, all rely on navigation. So it is something that many people on a regular basis rely upon. So, as the field gets closer and closer to Siberia and actually make a shift, it is going to throw everything off. Okay, but the latest calculations reveal how magnetic north is shifting position at a rate that is unprecedented in recorded history, racing across the Arctic region at 50 kilometers a year and showing a little sign of slowing down. The movement since the 1990s is much faster than at any time for at least 4 centuries. We really don't know much about the changes in the core that's driving it, says Ciaran Began, a geomagnetic specialist at the British Geological Survey. The findings were contained in an updated version of the world's magnetic model release this week by its joint compilers, the BGS and U.S. National Centers for Environmental Information. So they're showing you on this animated graph the movement of the magnetic field. All right, so it's still moving towards Siberia. And, they have many fears because this is the first time in our lifetime that we've really seen such a dramatic shift. But I believe it's one of these things that have occurred many times on Earth. We're just going to be the ones to witness it happen. All right, so together with satellite positioning data, the model underpins modern navigation, and frequent revisions are essential so operators can reconcile magnetic sensors and compress readings with geographic reality. From the time records were first kept in the 16th century until the late 90s, the magnetic North Pole plotted a fairly stable course as it wandered slowly around what is now the Canadian Arctic, but then it picked up pace as it plotted a new course northwards towards a geographic equivalent to the top of the Earth's rotational axis. The speed has increased in recent years, with magnetic north heading rapidly in the direction of Siberia. This year, it passed within 390 kilometers of, or 3 degrees of the geographic North Pole and across the Greenwich median for the first time. The magnetic field is generated mainly by a dynamo effect as molten iron moves within the Earth's core and creates electronic currents. Yet scientists are only just beginning to understand the fluid dynamics of the core that could one day allow for more accurate magnetic forecasting. Phil Livermore and colleagues at Leeds University Institute of Geophysics recently deduced that a jet stream of liquid iron was flowing within the core, something that could explain fluctuations in magnetic north's behavior. We should be able to predict the weather of the core by tracking this movement, just like we forecast real weather, said Professor Livermore. But the liquid iron is far harder to track because it lies beneath 3,000 kilometers of rock. The updated model also confirmed that the Earth's magnetic field is weakening by about 5% every century. If this continues, the field could reverse, ushering in an era of magnetic chaos as the North Pole flips south and vice versa. Geological records show this has happened before, most recently 780,000 years ago. In a sense, another reversal is overdue because, on average, one happens every 500,000 years or so. But geomagnetism is too complex for this simplistic view to be a useful guide. Changing the world's magnetic model. So you're seeing everything that's going to be impacted by it. So navigation, telecoms, consumer electronics, oil and mineral rigs, so they all depend on some sort of navigation. Okay. A magnetic flip would have dire consequences for any civilization around when it happened because the magnetic field would no longer shield the Earth against violent space weather. So, in other words, the people that burn are pretty much doomed, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, who has the least protection from the atmosphere now? Right? So those same people would be in trouble. Until the new reverse field establish itself, terrestrial life and infrastructure, such as satellites, aviation, electronic grids, would be heavily exposed to damaging solar and cosmic radiation, ultraviolet lights, UV rays, that's all radiation. Fortunately, few geophysicists expect such a reversal in the next few centuries. In the more immediate future, scientists have little idea how long magnetic north will continue on its path or at what speed. Curiously, on the other side of the planet, the magnetic South Pole has stayed almost stationary for decades. Well, to me, the Earth is just going through its normal cycle. You know, the outlook for the next decade, based on the most reliable geophysical modeling, is for magnetic north to continue on its current trajectory for about 500 kilometers. But scientists cannot rule out further deviations in the Earth's unpredictable magnetic field. So, when this finally makes a shift, I think they are in fear of what's going to happen. But, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that they cannot control. They can't stop this from happening. It's going to happen, you know? And like they said, it's long overdue. And I believe that too. But I don't believe everybody on the planet is going to be doomed from this. You know, we're not all doomed now. And some people suffer from the atmosphere more than others. And I think it will be the same way once this magnetic field shifts finally, once it reaches Siberia. I think some people will be fine and some won't. But that's just my opinion, y'all. But please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.